The hardest part of losing your confidence is that the rest of the world keep moving. And you might be there feeling stuck, feeling unsure about who you are, feeling unsure about whether you can figure things out, whether you can bring change and momentum in your life again. And the rest of the world is still moving. Other people not even notice that maybe you are at a phase where you don't have any confidence left in yourself. And that can be very isolating, that can be very frustrating, that can be very numbing as well. I know this is what I felt over the last 12 months where I've been really losing myself, losing my confidence, and losing a lot of my identity. And this is something that I thought I might share with you today. I've not talked about about this before, but I feel it's important to have these more like honest conversations about what actually does it look like when your confidence is not there anymore and you need to rebuild it from scratch, because you might also be somebody who is experiencing that right now. Maybe you are in a burnout phase, or maybe you are in a kind of challenging time that seems to be extending and continuing to be challenging for a certain amount of month, and it might feel like that you won't be able to get out of it. And that's not necessarily true. I think we all go through these times of failures or of challenges, but yeah, losing confidence in the process is probably one of the hardest things. And having to recover yourself from that, having to rebuild it from scratch, really takes a lot from you. I know that. That's what I'm trying to do right now. And yeah, I thought I was going to share my experience today so that you can also maybe get some inspiration for yourself of maybe having an idea about what one thing you can try to bring yourself back to the best level where you were before all of that, and just remind yourself how beautiful of a person you are and how competent and capable you are as well. And yeah, so for me, my story of losing entirely my confidence, I think my confidence was always good when I was younger. Like I was not even challenging it. I was working and I was, achieving things, and I was, yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing great. I'm above a little bit average compared to other people. I'm just fine there. And I think my confidence already started to be a little bit more fragilized when I became an entrepreneur, which was the last 4 years before that last year. And in this process, I was trying different things. I was failing a lot. There was not always a result compared to the amount of work I had put behind everything. So I think my confidence started to be a little bit impacted there, because there was not enough moments where I felt I was really competent or I was really, successful in business. And there were moments of wins and moments of when things were working, but there were not enough of them to make me really feel that I was really yeah, good at that. So I think my confidence in who I was as a person, and how capable I am, and how I can actually turn some goals and some dreams into reality already started to be impacted there. Um, and after that, so I had to close this business. I basically failed at making it work financially. So I had to be, honest with myself and say, okay, I'm taking a pause right now. I'm stopping that, and then I might come back at it in the future. But for now, it's a pause, and I had to go back to work. And I entered this program, which is a program in the social impact world that is supposed to basically help you transition career from wherever you were to a role in charities, in nonprofits, in any good place where they have a positive impact on the world, which felt really aligned with what I wanted to do, and I was really enthusiastic about it, because it's like a there is a high number of people being candidates that apply to it. I was very happy to be selected, and this is also a program that is really that on paper looked really like a good fit. And that was really based on community and finding the right network. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to spend a lot of time with amazing people, and that's going to help me transition career from entrepreneurship to going back to something that is actually interesting. And yeah, I think I had a lot of like maybe expectations set up before, and yeah, just positive impressions from the interviews and stuff like this. And when I started the program, unfortunately, the first thing that happened is that I burned out quickly, because this program was really designed to be all about tons and tons of people. And, basically on the first 5 days, we were introduced to at least 65 people. 65 people that you don't know, that you have to build connection with. For me, it's way too much in one go. I think that makes sense for a lot of people, but it was really not designed in a way that was inclusive, and was really fitting my rhythm, my neurodivergence, etc. So I already started having a little bit of failure sense, because I was burning out. I had really to take a step back, and this happened really in the first month of the program. So I was already, feeling a little bit less competent, because comparing to all the other people in the program, I was struggling. And there was not a lot of real conversations, like real, honest conversations about it. So it felt like I was the only one, although I'm sure I was not. But it was kind of like, this program is amazing, everybody is happy type of conversations, rather than, hey, actually this program is so intense at the beginning like this that I cannot handle it. And that already made me feel a bit isolated, but also like, yeah, kind of incapable of properly doing this type of onboarding and like connecting socially with people. And that was the first step. And unfortunately, the way it was handled from the core team in charge of this program and some of the members of my cohort was, how can I call this? Formative is probably the best and nicest word. And yeah, it ended up in a situation where I was really treated very poorly. I was really made feel that I was not suitable for this environment, that I was inadequate, that I did not understand what a community is, that I was kind of selfish for not sharing all details of what was going on with me, with my cohorts. Sorry, I'm a little bit emotional because it was very intense and very traumatic. But yeah, there was this kind of phase of basically being told the way I was handling my burnout, which was to take care of myself, which was to set boundaries with people so that I could have more space to recover, which was to not force myself into doing all the trainings and all the things that were basically kind of like, optional things in this program, but people made it look like they were mandatory. So I was like, okay, this is not, everything is optional here. Okay, this is what I'm going to do as a minimum, which is what you do when you're burnout. You take steps to protect yourself, to protect your brain, to protect your energy, and then you rebuild from there, and then you can come back a little bit later. But in that case, it was really handled very poorly by a lot of people, particularly by the core team, who was kind of setting the culture, and there was a lot of like wrong messaging about basically codependence, basically yeah, like if you work in social impact, you're supposed to be generous. Therefore, you're supposed to be supposed to say yes to everything. Like if you are saying no or having boundaries, this is seen as you are being a problem. And I repeatedly, explained myself. I repeatedly had to set boundaries. Every single time I was made feel that my reality did not exist. There was a lot of invalidation from the senior leadership as well, and this really, this really led me to so spend the first 6 months of this program battling that, then putting a firm boundary, and then finishing the 6 months of the rest of the program in a way that was a little bit less intense in terms of exposure to people who were really making me doubt who I was as a person, making me doubt that my behaviors were normal, which I thought they were, because, taking care of yourself when you're burnout, or setting boundaries, or, kind of knowing what you need and advocating for yourself, all of these behaviors are mature behaviors. They are behaviors from people who actually are thoughtful and can express themselves, and all these things. It's like, this is actually an evil version of me, and this version of me was rejected by that group of people. So there was a lot of like wrong messaging. They also gave false narratives to other people. Like they basically make me look incapable to other people. For instance, we were doing in this program, we were doing placements as well. So we were placed in organizations and doing some real work, and they communicated to one of my manager that I basically needed a lot of adjustments. Like they all the way through, they had the opportunity to do things differently, and they chose to, to stick to their version, to lie, to make me look incapable, and to basically isolate me completely. And yeah, I finished this program. Like this full year of program was really, really negative for me. I had a lot of trauma from it. Even though I removed myself from the exposure of the people who were creating the problem after 6 months, I was still spending 6 months in another placement. And, when you've been treated so poorly, obviously you have trauma already ongoing. So your brain is very hypervigilant. I was really struggling to trust people. I was really struggling to connect with my new colleagues, because I'm like, it's like, how you also gonna be treating me like shit at some point. There was a lot of like, I saw myself being incapable of connecting with people and incapable of recovering my mental health, and all these things really made me feel as a person that I was really failing. So my confidence took a big hit from that experience. Not necessarily competence, because I was still able to deliver good work. So I was still, doing things, completing projects. Like if I look at what I've given to these two organizations I work for, like the work is high quality. It's like people are happy with it. They're still using some of the things I did. Like I really helped kick things off. I really helped with strategy. Like I did a lot of good work delivered. So I did not lose confidence in how competent I am as a person, but at, can I work in normal environment? Am I even a normal person? Because apparently, if even if I do things that I believe are what mature people do, it doesn't get appreciated. So it was really a hard moment to really just like keep going like this. But also because I was like not listened to, and narrative was shifting a little bit, I also felt that I lost my voice in a way, like that I did not really have that whatever I said did not matter, and that I did not matter as a person. And this was a lot of obviously very, very strong emotions and still ongoing emotions, as you can see. Sorry, that's a free therapy session for me today in this video. But yeah, so yeah, I had a full breakdown that impacted my confidence, as mostly at identity level, not necessarily competence, but identity level, at social level as well as at self-expression level. And I think this is it's a very different experience. Brain capacity as well, because I was burnout, so obviously my brain was also struggling with different things, and this also impacted my confidence in whether in whether I can actually continue doing more work and what's going to happen in my career and stuff like this. So there's a lot of like ongoing confidence question marks that were there. But obviously, no matter what happens, I'm left with the consequences, and I need to bring myself back up to a good place, because having lost confidence like this, obviously it impacts the way you show up in the world. It impacts how confident you are. Like I'm currently applying for jobs, job searching. It will impact my confidence. If I believe I can do things, then I'm going to apply to like junior roles or things that are not even interesting to me, just because my self-esteem is low and things like that. So I really had to take a step back and say, okay, now I need to take ownership back of bringing my confidence back to the level where it was supposed to be and where it should be, because I have no reason to doubt that I'm a good person, that I can achieve things and be perfectly capable and worth it. So this is the work I'm currently doing, and it's still a work in progress. So I'm not guaranteeing you miracles here. If you're listening and you're like, yeah, I also want to know how she got back from that. It's a work in progress, but there are a few things that I'm doing that I know are really, really working, and some of them I used in the past as well to bring myself back up from when I was in a deep hole. So yeah, the first thing that is really important that I found is just crucial to help me is proving to myself that I'm trustworthy. It's really helping my brain trust me back, which I think a lot of times when we are in situations like this of failures or burnout or like complicated human situations, it's easy for the brain to stop trusting you, to stop trusting that you can make things happen, that you can change things, that you have any kind of control and competence and power to recreate a better situation. And that sense of self-trust, like that the brain is watching you and is saying, yeah, okay, I trust that human being to do what they have to do for their survival and for thriving as well, is really important to build. And one thing that I've noticed is that every time I had a rough patch like this, the first thing I do is find one thing I can control. That's it. One thing that I can control that has not necessarily anything to do with the situation I'm in, but one thing I know I can put all my discipline towards. And for instance, in the past, I did this with running. So if I had like a friendship breakup, or if I had a moment where I was so burnout and I'm like, okay, I need to restart somewhere, the first thing I do is run or go to the gym or something like this. But I found that this is easy, like running. I put on my shoes, I go outside, and I run. I can run how much I want, doesn't really matter. But this is absolutely under my control. I can decide tomorrow I'm going to start running for the next 30 days, and I can do this. Nobody is preventing me from doing that. I have the time. Even if I don't have the time, I can just go for a 1 kilometer run. It's enough. So these are things where I can say to my brain, this is a new goal. This is a new kind of challenge, and I'm going to do it. And then brain, look, I've been doing it for 30 days at least, and then you continue like this. And this effect of, there is one thing I'm focusing on, I'm disciplining towards, my brain starts seeing, oh, actually, that person is following through. That person is making things happen. That person is creating momentum. Look, she's been doing that already. That actually helps a lot. And it's like a tiny little thing, but just this fact of creating momentum and creating progress is what your brain needs when you are completely lost in terms of confidence. Is you start showing to your brain, hey, there is at least that one thing you can trust me on, that one thing I can be confident about, because every single day I've been doing this. And that's very important to just find these things for you. If you're like, oh yeah, maybe I could try that, or I could do this. Just that consistency is really it's game changing, actually, very easily. And in this specific case, at this point in time, I'm not running, but I'm actually doing this YouTube video challenge that you're currently watching, at least for the next 80 days. But this for me is the same thing. It's like I said I was going to do videos every single day. Every single day I show up, I record, I post it. There is consistency. I've already done this now for 28 days. So it's like, yeah, my brain is like, look, she said she was going to do something and she did it. And that creates momentum. That also creates some results, obviously. If I'm looking at my YouTube analytics, even though things might not be moving very fast or whatever, but at least there is some progress. There is a bit more subscriber, there are a bit more video views. Like it's creating a sense of momentum that is happening, and that was what I needed. And what I also love about this challenge is that there is a component of learning. Like I'm also training some skills. I'm also looking at where I'm strong, when I'm not, but there is a sense of personal progress that nobody can take away from me. So that's also an important thing. If you are looking at something that could work for you, is there like a component of, are you going to learn something? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be better after that. And that can also, just start rebuilding confidence that you're also competent. That's very important to have a look at. And yeah, sorry, just moving the microphone a little bit. Whoops, sorry for the noise. And this is something that, because there is momentum in this one area of my life, then I can go create momentum in other areas of my life and borrow the confidence that I'm getting from that. Like if I'm feeling good from YouTube, I also started doing now like a 78 days weight release, not weight loss, weight release. But I'm also, putting back some good discipline in some of my health habits. And, all these things that it starts compounding. And then that means that I have some good positive energy and some better confidence when I'm applying for work. So it kind of fuels different areas of my life just because I chose that one thing that I can control, and I'm going all in that and being disciplined. So that's a very, the very interesting thing that really help your brain see that you are somebody who is still capable of creating momentum, of creating some progress, of learning something. This is just like a basic step, but it will help you rebuild from the ground. And so far it's working well, and I'm hopefully going to reach a stage where I have this like good foundation of confidence, and then I can start doing some very bold stuff that can help me even go further. I remember with the running, for instance, last time I used running to get myself out of a mess was during a friendship breakup, and I started running like maybe 2 weeks, and then I signed up for a half marathon, which was like 10 weeks later. And then after the half marathon, I run for like 10 weeks again, half marathons every week, and then I ended up running a marathon. So in that scope of very, very short month, I went from I need something to control to bring myself back to confidence to doing something very, very bold. And this also, obviously skyrockets your confidence as well. So I'm not there yet. Let's see how this YouTube journey is going. But I hope also, to rebuild a little bit enough confidence in one area to start doing bolder things, which also helps, skyrocket confidence. And then you can use this in other areas. So that's a work in progress on proving to myself that I'm trustworthy, and that it's worth that is worth continuing, and just that I can make things happen somewhere, so I'm also able to make things happen somewhere else if I want to. A link to that, that's the second thing I'm doing, is having a lot of conversations with my brain. This is very important. I'm doing a lot of mental health reboots. I'm doing a lot of meditation. I'm doing a lot of self-care at this specific point in time, because this is really important. It's important any single day, but I think particularly when things have been that hard and that traumatic, you need that time and that space to process, but also to give yourself grace as well. This is something I try to always remind my brain that, okay, these have been very hard circumstances, and it's normal that it impacted my confidence, and it's not totally normal. Any human being would have felt this way. But now it's like, okay, give yourself grace for this. It's taking more time to recover. Keep giving yourself grace until you are back. That's a typical conversation I'm having on every single day to not forget that things might take time, but I'm still in the process. And then it's also it's also continuing in this alleviating the present thing, that I always remember that everything is temporary, because I know from the past that I've been in tough moments and I've always been able to recover. So this is always like, reminding your brain that we are in current circumstances that might be hard, but if I look in a year, it will be different, because I know that other things that impacted me a lot in the past, after a year, after 2 years, after 3 years, they are still there. I know I've experienced them, but the impact or the intensity I feel when I think about this is way, way, way reduced. So it's just having this kind of mindset of being able to zoom out, and also, think, okay, this was a specific environment that was not fit for me. It was a specific situation with specific people that were not the right people for me. It has nothing to do with my identity. It's not because this situation happened doesn't mean that I'm a person who is inadequate. I'm a person who doesn't fit in there. It's just one experience with that group of people and that environment, but it does not define everything I am. And this is like type of conversation of always paying attention to where your brain is going. Is it attaching your identity to what happened, or is it actually seeing what happened as, okay, there is something I need to learn there is something I need to reinforce or remove, or any kind of progression. That's what you need to be looking for there. And if you see your brain is going in the direction of, oh, actually, you know what, I'm going to feel ashamed about it, or I'm going to let this impact my confidence for the rest of my life, this is where maybe you need to do some work, and sometimes work with a therapist as well, if it's not something easy to do for you on your own. That's totally fine. And I'm also leveraging my brain in the present by also making sure that I notice the wins. So if I've done something good today, or if I completed a step that I know is a progress step, I make sure that I capture them, because the brain is very good at focusing on the negative, focusing on the scary things, focusing on, things that you don't have yet or that you are missing, or comparing yourself to old version of you where you were also in the same hard situations. And you need to remind it, okay, wait, okay, these are the things you are scared about. Okay, this is my list of all positive stuff that are happening. Small steps, doesn't matter how big they are. But if today I just felt better about myself, or if today I've completed one job search and I'm very happy with it, then it's already a good step. And that also helps rebuilding like the confidence that you are progressing and the sense of momentum I was mentioning earlier. And the other side of brain conversations I'm doing, sorry, I'm not crazy. I'm just talking to my brain as a third party, but it actually helps. The other thing I'm doing is talking with my past self, because my past self has been there before. My past self has been able to handle situations like this, has been able to figure it out. I've learned things from there, and it's very important to sometimes look back and say, okay, how did I find a solution last time? What are the things that helped me be successful at recovering from that? What are the things that really made me confident in the past? Is there something that I can use? Is there a strength I already have that I just need to start doing this again, and then I will feel magically good about myself because I'm actually operating from the strength I already have? Like anything that is the past version of you that really is helping you be confident, or is helping you figure things out when things are tough. That is somebody to go and talk to. Go back and think, how did I end up there? How did I handle that? There is a solution there, or there is something that worked the first time around. That when I'm sharing that in the past I used to run as my recovery tactic number one, go find something to control, is because I've done it a few times and I know it works, and it's something that now I can bring with me when I have a hardship. I'm like, okay, now it's hard. What is the one thing I can control? It needs to become the immediate response. But yeah, this comes from having conversations with my brain, and really looking back sometimes at how did it happen? Because at the end of the day, a lot of confidence is not whether or not you experience hardship or anything. It's more, do you trust yourself to figure things out? Do you trust yourself to figure out solutions and next steps, and be able to take these actions? Because that's where the confidence is going to be. It's not that you have everything figured out or nothing hard will happen. It's just, if that happens, do you have the emotional, intellectual capacity to deal with it? If you've done it in the past, then you have this capacity because you already have proof that you've done it. So it's important to go and talk to your brain, both to make sure that the present is being managed, but also that the past is being used to create a better future. And the last thing I'm doing right now, which is also a good complement, is thinking about the people I want to spend time around. Obviously, in this specific case, I've been treated poorly by so many people that it took me a bit of time to kind of reopen to connections and trusting people again. But in this specific situation, what I'm doing is spending time around people who already knew me from before, that have nothing to do with these circumstances, and also people who I know are quality people who just believe in me in general, because confidence is kind of contagious. So if you spend your time with people who are either don't care about you, don't really care about you, or they are more on the negative side, it's very different experience than if you spend your time with people who are, confident, who are enthusiastic, who are, they are chasing some of their dreams and they're out there building stuff and they are creative and they can share with you thousands of ideas. And it's a whole different vibe, it's like, yeah, I can feel that if I was around these people more often, I would feel better. So for me right now is finding the safe people that I knew from before, can provide that, and spend some time with them, have some good conversations, just catching up, and just being reminded of, some people already appreciate me the way I am, and some people already are rooting for me as well, and can support me in this hard time. And it's also looking at people that I don't necessarily know, but like, for instance, influencers on YouTube or Instagram, people that I really follow already because I like their energy, I like what they're talking about. They're also building something, and I want to, follow that. It's important because you also need sometimes to just borrow confidence from people who have already done what you've done, what you want to do, sorry, or like just people one step ahead. And for instance, this challenge started because I follow Glow at Mo on YouTube, who is one of my favorite influencers of all times, and she has also done this type of YouTube challenge, and she's asking people to start as well. And you can see that she's so confident, she has so much joy in the journey, and she's learned so much from it, that I was really like, yeah, I want to spend time doing that as well. But I also like to follow her because I can see that, she's not pretending that she knew everything. She's just started and building the steps, and took on the challenge. And having this type of people, for me, is also an inspiration. It's also, kind of a way to see progress, but to see that other people have done it, then I know it can work. So it gives us, so my brain, some more like, some more like idea that things can change. And this is really important to just yeah, not stay too much away from people. Find the people who are actually helping you boost your confidence as well, and go borrow some from them when you're adopting yourself. Just go and spend time around people who have some more that they can lend you just by their presence in your life and their conversations, and just taking care of you. And yeah, this is what I'm currently doing, and to rebuild my confidence after I really lost it at all levels, from identity and social relationships and my voice in general. And I know it might seem hard, and I can tell you I'm still in the process, and you probably saw the level of emotional emotional tone I was bringing, because it's still a whole thing to process and accept that I lost it completely, and that now I need to rebuild it, and that's my job to do right now. And life will improve. I think this is my message to you if you're also there and you're also trying to find solutions. First of all, kudos for being in charge of it and taking ownership, and not letting a situation or a few situations combined make you lose completely confidence in who you are, because it's not. It's just a temporary stage. And I would also say just focus on the small moments, because it's not like a big moment like tomorrow you're going to wake up and you are going to feel absolutely confident about who you are again. It's like, no, it's like small moments of consistencies, of proving to yourself that you are trustworthy, of basically showing your brain that you have all it takes. You don't need more. You already have all the capacity and all the intelligence and all the tools within yourself. It's not lost, it's just hidden somewhere, and maybe you could not see it because of the circumstances, but it's still there. And now you're just like putting back the pieces together in a way that I think is going to be stronger. At least that's what I tell myself. I think it's like, if your identity or your confidence gets shattered like this and you are rebuilding it, you're what is the word, unfreakable. I'm not going to say it otherwise I'm going to get demonetized on YouTube. But you will be unbothered, because you are rebuilt from a place where there was nothing left. And that, I think, it's valuable experience, even though it's hard, and even though it's like, I do not want anybody to go through that, but you will get back to a better place. And just make sure that you also make this part of your day-to-day moving forward. This is also what I'm telling myself. If I know that I need a challenge regularly, if I know that I need the good people in my life, if I know that I need these conversations with my brain, I don't need to wait, just do this right now and then forget about it and then use it again when I have a next crisis. I won't do that. I will just start putting this in my daily habits, because then I know that works and that can keep my baseline of confidence at a very high level. So yeah, it's just learning from the experiences and rebuilding better foundations in your life to have confidence in who you are, because you deserve it. We all deserve it. And yeah, this was the video for today. So as I was mentioning, it's day 28 of a 80 days challenge, so 52 days to go before I turn actually 40. This is the reason why I started, is because I'm trying to see what I want to bring with me as I'm moving towards my next decade, and what I also want to leave behind. So hopefully big loss of confidence I can leave behind for the future. And yeah, if you're interested in following that, you can subscribe to this channel, and I see you tomorrow for another video.